Imagine being stranded alone on a deserted island. Your only company, the eerie sounds of the jungle and the relentless waves crashing against the shore for over 4 years. One man faced this terrifying reality. This is the true and chilling story of a real-life castaway whose incredible fight against all ants will leave you questioning the limits of human resilience. Welcome back to Into the Deep, where we uncovered the most mysterious and spine-chilling tales from history. Today we delve into the haunting story of how one man's solitary ordeal on a desolate island inspired one of the greatest adventure novels of all time. Born in 1676 in the small Scottish village of Lower Logo, Alexander Selkirk was destined for a life of adventure and peril as young man. His rebellious spirit often got him into trouble. But it was his seafaring ambitions that led him to the fateful journey that would forever change his life. Alexander Kirk began his seafaring life as a buccaneer. In 1703, he joined an expedition led by English privateer William de Amaya, embarking from Ireland, equipped with letters of marque. Their mission was to target enemy ships during the War of the Spanish Succession. Dampier commanded the St. George while Selkirk served on the Cinque Ports under Captain Thomas Stradling. After a treacherous journey around Cape Horn, their fleet battled a French ship that managed an escape to alert Spanish forces. Following a failed raid in Panama, they captured a well-stocked merchant vessel, reigniting their hopes briefly. Cook was then given command of this prize ship, but Dampier soon released it after taking necessary provisions of wine, sugar, flour, and brandy. By May 1704, Captain Stirling with the ports chose to part ways with Dampier, setting the stage for Selkirk's extraordinary fate. By September of 170, before the tin ports had made its way to the uninhabited island of Masa Tierra, part of the Juan Fernandez archipelago, to resupply with fresh water, Selkirk, who during their journey became increasingly concerned about the seaworthiness of the vessel, repeatedly clashed with the ship's captain Thomas Stirling, fearing for his life. Should the expedition continue in its current state, Cook made a bold and desperate decision, declaring he would rather stay on Masa Tierra than continue with Stradling. Little did he know he was trading one set of dangers for another, as Stradling would take him up on the offer, deserting him on the remote island, immediately regretting his decision. Selkirk pleaded to be taken back, but Stradling, wanting to set an example for the crew, refused, effectively handing Selkirk a death sentence as the Cinque Ports disappeared over the horizon. Cook was struck by the stark reality of his isolation. He was alone hundreds of miles from the nearest civilization, with only a few supplies to his name: a musket, an old hatchet, a cooking pot, a knife, carpenter tools, his Bible, and some clothing and bedding. The island was a wild and untamed place, teeming with strange noises at night. Sealer's first days were filled with fear and uncertainty. He had to quickly learn to adapt to his new, harsh environment. Selkirk knew he had to secure food and shelter to survive, finding refuge in a beachside cave and living off whatever he could forage. Filled with overwhelming grief, loneliness, and regret, Selkirk stared aimlessly at the horizon for days. He later confessed he often contemplated taking his own life, but it was a natural invasion that forced him to act. As mating season approached, hordes of sea lions overran his beach, cutting him off from food and pushing him inland. Though distraught at moving into the untamed jungle, this unexpected push would actually lead him to salvation. He soon discovered the lush valley behind the beach, rich with cabbage palms, wild turnips, and native fruits that became staples of his diet. He also discovered goats left by earlier buccaneers and pirates. At first, he shot them for food, but when his gunpowder ran out, he learned to capture and domesticate some for meat and milk. During one such chase, Alexander narrowly escaped death when he lost his footing and tumbled from a cliff, lying in agony for days. The goat he was chasing cushioned his fall. This could have been his final resting place. Rocky cliffs and unstable terrain wasn't Alexander's only danger. However, the island was overrun by colonies of rats, as large as his forearm, that GED at his hands and feet, while he slept, threatening to spread untreatable disease and infection. Fortunately, wildcats on the island offered a solution. Selkirk domesticated some, and they guarded him at night, creating a strange but comforting companionship, as the days turned to weeks and the weeks turned to months. Alexander continued to adapt to his lonely island life. Despite seeing no signs of rescue since being marooned, he had not given up hope every day, scanning the horizon for ships from a lookout lighting signal fires as he did as October 1704 approached. Sealer built shelters inland, near a stream using his few tools he constructed, huts from pimenta wood, and thatched them with grass. His huts were sparsely furnished, but goat skins provided warmth and comfort. He boiled meat in a kettle and used pimenta wood to create fire. His domesticated goats and cats provided food and protection, and he improved his diet with lobsters, parsley waterist, and parsnips. His Bible became his most precious companion, with daily devotions helping him retain his speech and sanity one day while going about his tasks. His hopes soared as he saw two ships anchored offshore rushing to the shore to greet his potential rescuers. His excitement turned to dread. They were Spanish, knowing capture meant a fate worse than death, as he faced torture or a life of slavery in a salt mine. He fled back into the jungle as the Spanish sailors explored the island in search of supplies. He was spotted by a group of men who fired at him, thinking quickly and using his agility from months of traversing the island. Alexander climbed a tall, leafy tree, hiding until they abandoned their search at one point. The searching party even urinated beneath the tree, Alexander hidden. However, they failed to notice him, and they soon returned to their ship. As the years stretched on Salaire's tools and clothes wore out, when his knife wore out, he fashioned new ones from an iron bar barrel. He found on the beach, his clothes made from goat skins were crude but effective, and his feet became toughened from running on volcanic terrain. His long, uncut beard also made him appear wild like a hairy ape. Despite adapting to his solitary life, Selkirk never gave up hope of rescue. Unbeknownst to him, his fate was about to change. William Dampier, who had inadvertently left Coke stranded, was now leading another venture to raid the South American coast. His new fleet, made up of the Juke and its sailing companion, the Duchess, set sail from England on September 1, 1709. And by late January 1710, they neared Isla M. Tiara. After 4.5 years, fate was about to reunite Cirque with an old comrade. Due to his previous encounter with the Spanish Selkirk, had grown cautious, always surveying the horizon from his lookout. Before approaching the beach on February 1, 1710, he spotted two ships in the distance that seemed distinctly British by their rigging hard pounding. He raced down to the shore, built a signal fire, and frantically waved for attention. DPIA, noticing the unexpected fire, sent a boat to investigate, not knowing Shirk was still alive. The landing party, led by Thomas Doe, was met by a speechless Cirque, overwhelmed with joy after 4 years and 4 months of solitude. Woodes Rogers, the Juke's captain, humorously dubbed Cirque the governor of the island Selkirk. Now agile and strong, CAU goats daily aiding in the recovery of Rogers' scurvy-stricken crew. Captain Rogers marveled at Sealer's physical vitality and mental tranquility. Observing, one may see that solitude and retirement from the world is not such an insufferable state of life as most men imagine, especially when people are fairly called or thrown into it unavoidably. As this man was impressed by Suck's resilience, Rogers appointed him as Juke's second mate. Back at sea, Sealer's zeal for privateering reignited at Guayaquil in modern-day Ecuador. He led a daring raid up the Guas River, looting gold and jewels from wealthy Spanish ladies who had fled with their treasures. His exploits continued along the coast of Mexico, looting galleon and playing a key role in capturing a Spanish prize ship. After this, Selkirk served as the sailing master under Captain Dew, navigating to the East Indies, and ultimately completing a circumnavigation of the globe. On October 1, 1711, Cirque arrived back in England, having been away for 8 long years. Selkirk's incredible story of survival became a sensation. He returned to England a changed man, his tale of endurance and resilience captivating all who heard it. His experience even inspired Daniel Defoe's classic novel Robinson Crusoe. Alexander Selkirk's ordeal is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and adapt. His story remains a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience that lies within us all, even in the face of the most daunting challenges. In 1966, the Chilean government renamed Isla Masafuera as Alejandro Selkirk Island, a fitting tribute to the man whose incredible survival story continues to inspire and intrigue. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales from the past. Until next time, stay safe.